तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः।
ॐ तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जना. We are reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna and second volume, first chapter, that is chapter 28 at the Star Theatre 1. Now, that started with Friday, September 19, 1884 at Dakshineshwar. And we have crossed that and we have come to Sunday, 21st September 1884. And still we are in Dakshineshwar. And Thakur is talking about his divine madness. The various incidents of his divine madness he is describing. So we pick up at where we going? Oh, back. 21st, okay. I removed the page. 549, English page 549. In Bengali, there is a small heading, Purva Katha Mathur Sange Navadvip, page 566. So we pick up there. The master continued with the description of his divine madness. Once for a few days, so same thing is going on. Once for a few days, I was out on an excursion with Mathur Babu in his houseboat. We took the trip for a change of air. During that trip, we visited Navadvip, Chaitanya's birthplace. One day, I saw the boatmen cooking their meal and stood and watched them. Mathur said to me, "What are you doing there?" I replied with a smile, "The boatmen are cooking and their food looks very good." Mathur felt that I might ask the boatmen to give me a portion of their food. So he said, come away, come away. But I cannot do such a thing now. That means he did that. Oh, that much only, huh? Mathur Babu did not allow that. Now, that is over and is telling that was madness. But I cannot do such a thing now. I am no longer in that mood. Now the food must be cooked by a Brahmin, observing ceremonial purity, and be offered to the deity, then only can I eat it. Of course, there have been exceptions. Balram's food is Shuddha, Thakur is to tell. Oh, what moods I passed through. At Kamarpukur, I said to the Chine Shankari, Srinivas, the Bengal man. Shankha, something obtained on the river bank or seashore, from which the bangles are made. So those who make those bangles are called Shankari. And Srinivas is name, shortened into Chine. Now, this was the gentleman or devotee who was the first to recognize Sri Ramakrishna's avatarhood. So when they were in Kamarpukur, he used to find Sri Ramakrishna alone somewhere and would worship him as one worships God, and Sri Ramakrishna used to accept that worship. So now he is talking of that Srinivas Shankari at Kamarpukur. I said to Chennai Shankari and the other chums of my boyhood days, "Oh, I fall at your feet and beg of you to utter the name of Hari." I was about to prostrate myself before them all because God lives in all. Thereupon Chennai said, "This is the first outburst of your divine love. So you don't see any distinction between one man and another. When the storm breaks and raises the dust, then mango and tamarind trees look the same. One cannot distinguish the one from the other." So that is the description of his divine madness. A devotee. So somebody is asking a question now. How can a householder keep on with his worldly duties if he is overwhelmed by such bhakti madness or love madness or knowledge madness? So how can you reconcile this with a householder's life? That is the question. Master, looking at him, there are two kinds of yogis, the revealed and the hidden. Revealed means manifested and hidden. Open and hidden. The householder may be a hidden yogi. None recognizes him. The householder should renounce mentally, not outwardly. So, he pacifies the householder by telling that he may not behave outwardly like the mad person, but inside he may love God extremely. So it can be reconciled. Outside he is an householder, inside he is a lover of God. Why not reconcile like that? Householder should renounce mentally, not outwardly. Renunciation is necessary, but outside he may appear to be amongst the enjoyments of the world, but inside he has renounced. Ram. Ram, Thakur's devotee, not that devotee has asked the question, but Ram intervenes here. You talk as if you are consoling children. That means you are not telling that householder cannot reach that state. A householder may be a jnani, but never a vijnani. So, Thakur talks of two types of knowledge. Na? One who knows God is jnani, and one who is intimate with him is vijnani. So, householder cannot be intimate with God. That is what Rama wants to say. Master, he may become a vijnani in the end. Aha. May not be now, but in the end he may become a vijnani. So why should householder worry? But it is not good to force oneself into renunciation. Other side, householder, let him be householder. He should not force himself and become a sannyasi. Let him remain householder. Let him remain loving from inside, and he will also become a vijnani at the end. Ram. Keshav Sen used to say, why do people go to him so much? One day he will sting them and they will flee from him. So Keshav Sen said, he is now talking like that, consoling, assuring, but one day he will tell them to become a sannyasi. One day he will talk to them of absolute renunciation. Why should people go to him? That is Keshav Sen saying, as per Rambabu. Master, why should I sting people? I say to people, do this as well as that. So he has never said to the potential householders to become sannyasis. Never. He rather recognized the householders' right to love God. There were several householder devotees with Sri Ramakrishna. Some people got married at very young age and they came to Sri Ramakrishna after they were married, and Sri Ramakrishna loved them extremely. And one such case, Tej Chandra Mitra. High school boys used to get married in those days, but both of them, Sri Ramakrishna loved the husband and wife both, and he was affectionate to both. And Tej Chandra is telling his wife, why should we worry? He has loved us. So there were Purna Chandra Ghosh, there were many people who Thakur loved extremely, though they were householders. Thakur never differentiated from love in the matter of love with sannyasis and householders, though it appeared that those who will carry his message will be the sannyasis. But even there we see, in their own way, the householders have carried his message in their life and activities. So that is what Thakur is telling. Why should I sting? I say to people, do this as well as that. Do your worldly duties and call on God as well. I don't ask them to renounce everything with a smile. One day Keshav, now he is telling about Keshav's limitation. One day Keshav was delivering a lecture. He said, O Lord, grant us that we may dive into the river of divine love and go straight to the ocean of Satchidananda. The ladies were seated behind the screen. I said to Keshav, how can you all dive once for all? Pointing to the ladies, I said, then what would happen to them? Every now and then you must return to dry land. So Thakur likes to talk the actual practical positions, not any theoretical fantasizing. You must dive and rise alternately. Keshav and the others laughed because Thakur had showed them their practical life. Hadra said to me, we have known Hadra well now, you love most those endowed with rajas, those who have great wealth and name and fame. That is an absolutely wrong charge. If that is so, then why do I love people like Harish and Naren? Noto. Noto means Latu Maharaj, Adbhutananda Swami. His name was Raktu Ram. And that Raktu Ram, when he was errand boy in Rambabu's house, they used to call him affectionately as Latu. And when came to Thakur, Thakur used to call him sometimes Leto, sometimes Nato. So that is the Latu Maharaj, who was an orphan. And he came to live with Thakur. And Thakur loved him extremely. Harish was living away from his family without a job or anything. Why Thakur loves him? Why do I love Narendra? That is Swami Vivekananda. His father has expired and he has no money to feed his. He can't even afford salt to season his roast banana. So he cannot get rice to eat. He only roasts a raw banana and he does not get salt even to taste it. That means he is in dire poverty and I love him most. So Hadra saying is wrong absolutely. Sri Ramakrishna left his room and went toward the pine grove, that Kasurina grove we are always talking with him. A devotee followed them with water and towel. You understand? After answering calls of nature in the forest, Thakur could not touch metal, so somebody used to carry his water bowl, and when he came out, they used to put water on his hand to wash. The master was talking about his intended visit to the Star Theatre. Now, first time we get that name. Huh? He said to him, what Ram says applies to Rajasic people. That householder can never become a Vijnani, etc. That is applicable to Rajasic people. What is the use of reserving an expensive seat? No, that is different. In the Star Theatre, Ram was of the opinion we should purchase the costly seat, which is called box seat. And perhaps the rate was 1 rupee in those days. Now, the Thakur could see nicely from the 8-anna seat. So that is what Thakur is referring to here. That what Ram says, best seat and all that is behaves to the Rajasic people. Why should I indulge in that? What is the use of reserving an expensive seat? About 5 o'clock that afternoon, Sri Ramakrishna was on his way to Calcutta. M. Mahendra Mukherjee and a few other devotees accompanied him in Mahendra's carriage. Thinking of God, the master soon went into an ecstatic mood. After a long time, he regained consciousness of the world. He observed, that fellow Hazara dares teach me, the rascal. After a short pause, he said, I shall drink some water. That he used to say after coming from deep spiritual moods. He often made such remarks in order to bring his mind down to the sense plane. Mahendra to him. So Mahendra did not know that. Now in Bengal, one asks for water, it means one should eat a little sweet or at least some piece of jaggery and then drink water. That is the custom there. So when he wants water, Mahendra said to him, may I get some refreshments for him? M, no, he won't eat anything now. M knows his habits, so he just wants water to come down from that state. Master, still in an ecstatic mood, I shall eat. That is also said for the same purpose. Mahendra took the master to his flour mill located at Hathivaga. After a little rest, Sri Ramakrishna was to go to the theatre. Mahendra did not care to take him to his own house, for the master was not well acquainted with his father. So, well acquainted, he says. That means he might have met him once or twice. Priyanath, Mahendra's second brother, was also a devotee of the master. Only father, about that his reservation. Sri Ramakrishna was sitting on a cot over which a carpet had been spread and was engaged in spiritual talk. So Thakur is not mindful at all where you have taken him and what. A little rest is necessary, so he stops there. Sri Ramakrishna was master to M and the others. Once while listening to the various incidents of the life of Chaitanya, Hadra said that these were manifestations of Shakti and that Brahman, the all-pervasive spirit, had nothing to do with them. So Hazara is his own idea. He cannot understand the immanence of Brahman. And so he says that is Shakti. Brahman is transcendent. But can there be Shakti without Brahman? Hazara wants to nullify the teachings of this place. This place means Thakur himself. And Thakur has fully realized, may not be the orthodox Vedantis, that Brahman and Shakti are identical. That which is transcendent also is immanent, all-pervading. They also talk of all-pervading Brahman, but they do not understand that it is a play of Brahman, equally important with the transcendent aspect. We are learning this truth very much in the gospel. So, that opinion of Thakur means the truth, absolute, full. And Hazara is talking against it. I have realized that Brahman and Shakti are identical, like water and its wetness, like fire and its power to burn. Brahman dwells in all beings as the Vibhu, the all-pervasive consciousness, though its manifestation is greater in some places than in others. So all this, the so-called Vedantis may not agree, but Thakur has realized that manifestation difference is there, though Brahman is all-pervading. Read the 10th chapter of the Gita and you will understand. Arjun says you are everywhere, but where I can worship you, where I can think of you, and then Sri Krishna describes his vibhuti, where his manifestation is special. Brahman dwells in all being as the vibhuti, all-pervasive consciousness, though its manifestation is greater in some places than in others. Vibhu means all-pervading, though he is vibhu, but his special manifestations are there. Hazara says further that anyone who realizes God must also acquire God's supernatural powers. So Hazara is mad after powers because he wants money and he was worldly gain. And so he has his philosophy as own that if you realize God, you become identical with God and God has supernatural powers. So you will also get supernatural powers. That he possesses these powers, though he may or may not use them. That is Hazara's opinion. M. Yes, one must have control over these supernatural powers. Allah. That means God has powers, God has control over those powers. Others, if they get power, the power controls them. That is the difference between God and Jiva. See, in the world, when man discovered atomic power, he became a slave in the hand of atomic power. When man gets political power, that power possesses him. Any power man gets, actually that power gets man, but not with Shiva, not with Brahman, not with God. He possesses the power, but he has the full control over that power. That is the difference. Master smiling. Yes, one must have them in one's grasp. How mean? He who has never enjoyed power and riches becomes impatient for them. So this Hazara's idea is a mean man's idea, mean mind. He has never had that powers, so he is dreaming of those powers. But a true devotee never prays to God for them. He does not want to fall a prey and is unconcerned with that. Why should he have powers? He does not want to show some miracles for himself or for others. Sri Ramakrishna washed his face. A smoke was prepared for him. He said to him, "Is it dusk now? Is it evening now? If it is, I won't smoke." During the twilight hour of the evening, you should give up all other activities and remember God. Saying this, he looked at the hairs on his arm. He wanted to see whether he could count them. If he could not, it would be evening. This is a great sign. I remember one Swami Dhrityananda in Nagpur. Shankar Maharaj was his other name. And he was in charge of puja or at least the evening arati for some months or some years. And normally the arati was done in Nagpur, say 15 or 20 minutes after sunset. But Shankar Maharaj, Dhritan Swami, never believed in that watch. He used to, after sunset, he used to look at his arm. And as soon as he saw that the hairs have become uncountable because they sleep on your arm, they do not stand. So you cannot count them. That means evening has taken place. It's an automatic physiological phenomena. When the sun has set, after a few minutes, the sun's glow has also gone. And so the hair becomes parallel to the skin. They cannot be counted. If you could not count, it would be evening. About 8:30 in the evening, so that time is crossed now, with the carriage with the master and the devotees drew up in front of Star Theatre on Bidden Street. They are rich now, Star Theatre. He was accompanied by M. Baburam, Mahendra, and 2 or 3 others. Big carriage. They were talking about engaging seats when Girish Chandra Ghosh, the manager of the theatre, accompanied by several officials of the theatre, came out to came out came out to the carriage, greeted the master, and took him and the party upstairs. Girish had heard of the master and was very glad to see him at the theatre. The master was conducted to one of the boxes. M sat near to him. Babu Ram and 1 or 2 devotees sat behind. The box is like that. The hall was brilliantly lighted. The master looked down at the pit and saw that it was crowded. Pit is the general public where they sit. The boxes also were full. Boxes, huh? For every box, there was a man to fan those who occupied it. Sri Ramakrishna was filled with joy and said to him with a childlike smile, "Ah, it is very nice here. I am glad to have come. I feel inspired when I see so many people together. God is in everybody. And when he sees so many people together, he is reminded of God. Then I clearly perceive that God himself has become everything." M. It is true, sir. M knows that. Master. How much will they charge us here? M. They won't take anything. They are very happy that you have come to the theatre. So that Ram and Rajasik are dropped down because the theatre people themselves will have given a special seat to him without charge. Master, it is all due to the grace of the Divine Mother. the Chaitanya Leela was about to be performed. That's why he has gone to the Star Theatre. It was a play about the early life of Sri Chaitanya, who was also known as Nimai, because he was born under a Margosa tree, neem tree. His other names are Gaur, fair complexion, Gora, that also is fair complexion, and Gauranga. All these three means fair complexion. The curtain rose, the attention of the audience was fixed on the stage. The first scene depicts a council of sin and the six passions. So figurative things are shown in the drama. On a forest path behind them walk Viveka, Vairagya and Bhakti engaged in conversation. That is the scene. Bhakti says to her companion, Gauranga is born in Nadia. Therefore the Vidyadharis, that is Gandharva women, Apsaras, the Munis, those who think about God, and the Rishis, those who experience God, have come down to earth in disguise to pay their respects to Him. Because God is born, so all these special people know it and they have come to pay respects to Him. Bhakti is telling all this. So she sings, means Bhakti, the person acting as Bhakti sings. Blessed indeed is the earth, Gora is born in Nadia. Behold, the Vidyadharis coming in chariots to adore him. Behold, the Munis and Rishis who come allured by the spell of love. The Vidyadharis, Munis and Rishis sing a hymn to Gauranga and adore him as an incarnation of God. The scene opens like this. Sri Ramakrishna watched this scene and was overpowered with divine ecstasy. He said to him, look at it. So the whole thing raises in Sri Ramakrishna's mind the devotional wave. Sages. Now on the stage, the bhakti has sung. Now sages will sing. O Keshava, bestow thy grace upon thy luckless servants here. O Keshava, who does delight to roam Vrindavan's glades and groves. So the sages know that Keshava is the name of the Krishna and himself is being born as Chaitanya. Goddesses. So Vidyadharis or some goddesses also have come. O Madhava, our mind bewitcher. Madhava. Ma is the name of Mother Lakshmi. Dhava is the husband. Chaitanya is equated with Krishna and as the husband of Lakshmi. Sweet one who does steal our hearts, sweetly playing on that flute. So they are thinking of Krishna only. Chorus. Now all of them together sing. Chant to mind the name of Hari. Sing aloud the name of Hari. Praise Lord Hari's name. Oh, no. That is when the Vaishnava songs are sung, in between, all together say Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. That is the style of the Vaishnava songs. And so here, that is the line which chorus means all together sing. That is the meaning. So I looked into the Bengali. And so, chorus, chant to mind the name of Hari. Hari bol. Bol means speak. Speak, utter, Hari. To whom it is addressed? To one's own mind. So in the English translation, it is made like that. The actual thing is only this, Hari bol, Manamar. Yes, mind is referred to. Hari bol, Manamar. Oh my mind, speak Hari, speak Hari, speak Hari. So chant to mind the name of Hari, sing aloud the name of Hari, praise Lord Hari's name. That is all Hari bol, Manamar. Sages. So next stanza. O thou eternal youth of Vraja. Vraja is that land where cows graze and one can walk. That is the whole area. Vrindavan, Mathura and all that area is called Vraja. O thou eternal youth of Vraja, tamer of fierce Kaliya. Kaliya was a snake in the river Yamuna, and so the water would become poisonous. Once while playing the Indian game of cricket like that, the wooden piece fell into Yamuna. The boy said, lost, lost. Krishna jumped into it. Kaliya came rushing at him. Krishna climbed on his hood. There were several hoods. And he danced so fiercely that Kaliya would have died. Then he prayed to Krishna. Then Krishna said, go away from Yamuna. You go to ocean. There people will not drink your water. And so Kaliya, with his all companions, queens or female companions, went away to ocean. That is the story referred to here. O thou eternal youth at Vraja, tamer of fierce Kaliya, slayer of the afflicted sphere. So those are afflicted, they have fear, and you destroy that fear for the devotees. Goddesses, beloved with the arching eyes and crest with arching peacock feather, that is how Krishna is described. His eyes, by his glances, he used to captivate the gopis. Charmer of Sri Radha's heart, Radha is the Pradhan Gopi. So he is always remembered as charmer of Radha's heart. Sages, Govardhan's mighty lifter. So the sages are thinking of his bravery. And gopis are, with the goddesses are thinking of his charming power. Govardhan's mighty lifter, that is a story. Govardhan is a small hillock in that Vraja. Now the tradition was to worship the Indra, who is the Dev god of rains. So Indra gives us rains, and then we have our crops. So every year they have fixed a day on which they would worship Indra. Now Krishna, even as a small boy, wanted to change that. He said, we have not seen Indra. This Govardhan hillock stops the cloud, and that is how we get rain. So we are obliged to the Govardhan. Why not worship Govardhan instead of worshipping Indra? And the people obeyed him. That was his charming power over people and wise concept. Indra became upset that they are not worshipping me because of this boy. So he sent heavy showers on them, continuous heavy showers. Now where will they go, all of them? So Krishna said, don't bother. Come here. And he lifted the whole Govardhan hillock on one of his fingers. And so all people gathered below Govardhan using it as a big umbrella. And Indra could not do anything. Then Indra came and surrendered to Krishna. And Krishna said, don't be proud. So that is the whole story. Govardhan's mighty lifter, thou, all garlanded with silver flowers, O Damodara, Kamsa's scourge. Now these names require explanation. Damodara. Dam means rope, Udara means stomach. When he was doing too much naughtiness in his childhood, his mother Yashoda tied him to a woofer, that husking machine, and the rope was tied to his stomach. But he started crawling and he carried that husking pestle with him, and it got stuck in two big trees, and he still pulled them, and the trees fell, and they were Gandharvas. Due to some curse, they were the trees. They praised him and went away. So that is the story of Krishna. So that is called Damodar, one whose stomach was tied with a rope. Kamsa's scourge. Kamsa was his maternal uncle, who had heard a heavenly voice that his sister Devaki's eighth son will kill him. And he tries all his tricks, but in the end, Krishna did kill him. Goddesses, O dark one, who does sport in bliss with sweet Vrindavan's gopi maids. So they are remembering that only, playing sweetly with the gopis. Gopis means cowherd woman. Chorus, same, Haribol. Chant to mind the name of Hari, sing aloud the name of Hari, praise Lord Hari's name. As the Vidyadhari sang the lines, behold with arching eyes. So here we understand the goddesses and Vidyadharis are same. Beloved with the arching eyes and crest with arching peacock feather, the master went into deep samadhi. Expression of love attracts him more. The orchestra played on, but he was not aware of the outer world. After the vocal is over, the orchestra plays for some time. Another scene. So Master Masha is not describing the entire drama, but where Thakur has reacted, that much he went. Another scene. That was all the opening scene. A guest has arrived at the house of Jagannath Mishra, Nimai's father. The boy Nimai plays about singing with his friends in a happy mood. So guest has arrived and the boy Nimai is singing with his friends. Tell me, where is my beloved Vrindavan, blessed Vrindavan? Where is Mother Yashoda? She is remembering himself as Krishna. Where Father Nanda and Brother Balai is Balaram? Where my twin cows, black and white, special favorites of Krishna? Tell me, where is my magic flute? My friends Sudama and Shri Rama, his friends, special friends. Where my Jamuna's bank, my banyan? Where my beloved gopi maids? Where is Radha, the queen of my heart? So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is fully identified with Krishna as a boy and he's singing like that. The guest closes his eyes while offering food to the Lord. Nimai runs to him and eats the food from the plate. The guest recognizes Nimai as an incarnation of God and seeks to please him with the hymns of the 10 incarnations. So that is Jayadeva's song. Krishna is the original and he has 10 incarnations, like that song. Before taking leave of Gauranga's parents, he sings Glory to Gaura. So that 10 incarnation song is not given. Glory to Gaura, the source of bliss. Hail Gauranga, Redeemer of earth, help of the helpless, life of the living, slayer of fear in the hearts of the fearful. Age after age we see thy play. New sports unfolding, moods ever new waves rolling, new tales to be told. Those who bearest the whole world's burden, thou who bearest the whole world's burden, shower on us the nectar of love. Take away our grief and affliction. Thou in love's pleasure cave dost dwell. Hope of the suffering, chastiser of sin, scourge of the wicked, victory to thee. Listening to the hymn, the master was thrilled with ecstasy. So those scenes are being described. The next scene is at Navadvip on the bank of the Ganges. After bathing in the holy water, the Brahmin men and women engaged in worship by the riverside. As they close their eyes, Nimai steals their food offerings and begins to eat them. A Brahmin loses his temper and says, "You scapegrace, you rascal, you are taking away my offering for Vishnu, ruin will seize you." Nimai holds on to the offering and is about to run away. Many of the women love him dearly and cannot bear to have him go away. They call to him, "Return, O Nimai, come back, O Nimai." Nimai turns a deaf ear to them. That is all play. One of the women, however, knows the irresistible charm that will bring him back. She loudly chants the name of Hari. Immediately, he repeats the name of Hari and comes back. So that is the trick. M was seated beside the master. Sri Ramakrishna could not control himself. He cried out, "Ah," and shed tears of love. So every scene of love is what appealing to Sri Ramakrishna. He said to Babu Ram and M, "Don't make a fuss if I fall into an ecstatic mood or go into samadhi. Then the worldly people will take me for a cheat." They can't understand. That he knows. Another scene. Nimai is invested with the sacred thread of the Brahmins. He puts on the traditional ochre robe of the sannyasi. In the sacred thread, it is a custom for 3 days he behaves like a sannyasi. In Bengal especially. Mother Shachi and the woman of the neighborhood stand about while he begs for alms. So he has to beg for alms for 3 days at least from his mother or ladies equivalent to his mother. Drop a morsel of food, I pray, into my begging bowl. Alone I roam, a new made yogi on the highway of the world. People of Raja, you I love, and so time and again I come to you at hunger's call. I beg my food from door to door. He thinks he is in Raja. The sun is low, and I must seek my home on the Yamuna's bank. Into its water fall my tears as onward murmuring it flows. The onlookers leave the stage. On the stage, some onlookers are there, they leave the stage. Nimai stands alone. The gods in the guise of Brahmin, men and women, sing his praises. So now God shall come. Men. The body gleams like liquid moonlight. Thou hast put on man's dwarfish form. O Lord, thee we salute. Woman, bewitcher of the gopis' hearts, thou roamest in the shady grove about Vrindavan's valley. Nimai. Nimai joins them. Hail Sri Radha, glory to Radha. He thinks of Radha as a Krishna. Men, the youths of Raja are thy friends. Thou curbest haughty Madan's pride. Madan is the god of love or lust, and he cannot put his charm on Krishna. Women, thy love has made the gopis mad. In ecstasy, the Yamuna thrills. So Yamuna also is filled with your love and thrills. Men, Narayana, deluder of demons, refuge of the fear-stricken gods. Narayana is the ultimate gati of the Naras. Men, women, O lover of Braja, thou dost beg the love of Braja's comely maidens. So you are begging from the lovely maidens of Braja, love. Nimai. Hail Sri Radha, glory to Radha. Listening to the music, the master went into Samadhi. The curtains fall and the orchestra played on. So act is changed, so curtains fall. A new scene, Shrivas and other devotees are engaged in conversation in front of Advaita's house. Advaita is his closest associate. Because of Advaita's call, God came down, that is what they say. And Shrivas is a very close devotee. Shrivas's house was the usual place where he used to sing and dance with his companions. Mukunda sings. Mukunda is another close devotee of Chaitanya, associate. Sleep no more. How long will you lie in Maya's slumber locked? O mind, who are you? Why have you been born? Forgotten is your own true self. O mind, unclose your eyes at last and wake yourself from evil dreams. A fool you are to bind yourself so to the passing shows of life. When in you lives eternal bliss, come out of the gloom, O foolish mind, come out and hail the rising sun. This is a song like the Jnani's song. Sri Ramakrishna praised the voice of the singer highly. It is not described even to Samadhi. Another scene, Nimai is, but he praised it, so that scene is shown. Another scene, Nimai staying at home. Shrivas comes to visit him. First he meets Shachi. The mother weeps and says, my son doesn't attend to his household duties. My eldest son, Vishwarupa, has renounced the world. Vishwarupa, elder brother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as soon as he completed his education, he understood the gist of education is to search for God, and he left home and went to the forest. Now she has only Nimai. And my heart has ached ever since. Now I fear that Nimai will follow in his steps. Nimai arrives. Sachi says to Shrivas, look at him. Tears run down his cheeks and breast. Tell me how I can free him from these notions. At the sight of Shrivas, Nimai clings to his feet and says, with eyes full of tears, ah me, revered sir, I have not yet attained devotion to Krishna. Futile is this wretched life. Tell me, sir, where is Krishna? Where shall I find Krishna? Give me the dust of your feet with your blessing, that I might realize the blue one with the garland of white flowers hanging around his neck, about his neck. Sri Ramakrishna looked at him. He was eager to say something, but he could not. His voice was choked with emotion. The tears ran down his cheeks. With unmoving eyes, he watched Nimai clinging to Srivasa's feet and saying, Sir, I have not yet attained devotion to Krishna. Now, another scene, Nimai has opened a school. He became expert in Navya Nyaya, the logic developed in Navadvip, and he became a tremendous expert. Nimai has opened a school, but he cannot teach the students any longer. Ganga Das, his former teacher, comes to persuade him to direct his attention to his worldly duties. He says to Shrivas, listen Shrivas, we are Brahmins too and devoted to the worship of Vishnu, but you people are ruining Nimai's worldly prospects. Master to him, this is the advice of the worldly wise. Do this as well as that. When the worldly man teaches spirituality, he always advises a compromise between the world and God. Yes, sir, that is true. Gangadas continues his argument with Nimai. He says, he told Shrivas first, now he is talking to Nimai. Nimai, undoubtedly, you are versed in the scriptures. Reason with me, explain to me if any other duty is superior to worldly duties. You are a householder. Why disregard the duties of a householder and follow others' duties? Master to him. Did you notice he is trying to persuade Nimai to make a compromise? Yes, sir. Nimai says to Gangadas, I am not willfully indifferent to a householder's duty. That is the beauty. If the mind pulls love of God, what can one do? On the contrary, it is my desire to hold to all sides. But, revered sir, I don't know what it is that draws me on. I don't know what to do. I want to cling to the shore, but I cannot. My soul wanders away. I am helpless. My soul constantly wants to plunge headlong into the boundless ocean. Shore means worldly life. Ocean means God. Master, me. The scene changes. Nityananda has arrived at Navadvip. Nityananda is another close associate of Chaitanya, like his brother. After a search, he meets Nimai, who in turn has been seeking him. When they meet, Nimai says to him, Blessed is my life, fulfilled is my dream. You visited me in a dream and then disappeared. The master said in a voice choked with emotion. Nimai said he had seen him in a dream. Thakur used to see all his disciples in his visions. Nimai is in an ecstatic mood and becomes engaged in conversation with Advaita, Shrivas, Haridas, and other devotees. Nitai sings a song suited to Nimai's mood. Where is Krishna? Where is my Krishna? He is not in the grove, dear friends. Give me Krishna, bring me my Krishna. Radha's heart knows not but him. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a combined incarnation of Radha and Krishna. So as Radha is singing for Krishna. At this song, Sri Ramakrishna went into Samadhi. He remained in that state a long time. The orchestra played on. Gradually his mind came down to the relative plane. In the meantime, a young man of Kharda, born in the holy family of Nityananda, had entered the box. He was standing behind the master's chair. Sri Ramakrishna was filled with delight at the sight of him because he is from the family of Nityananda. He held his hand and talked to him affectionately. Every now and then he said, Please sit down here. Your very presence awakens my spiritual feeling. He played tenderly with the young man's hands and lovingly stroked his face. After he had left, the Sri Ramakrishna said to him, he is a great scholar. His father is a great devotee of God. Thakur knew him. Huh? When I go to Kharda to visit Shyam Sundar, the father entertains me with sacred offering such as one cannot buy even for 100 rupees. The young man has good traits. A little shaking will awaken his inner spirit. At the sight of him, my spiritual mood is aroused. I should have been overrun with ecstasy if he had stayed here a little longer. Hmm. The curtain rises, so drama is still going on. Nityananda is walking in a procession on the public road with his companions, chanting the name of Hari. He meets two ruffians, Jagai and Madai, who are sworn enemies of all religious people. Madai strikes Nitai with a piece of broken pottery. Nitai is hurt and bleeds profusely, but he pays no heed, inebriated as he is with the love of God. Sri Ramakrishna was in an ecstatic mood. Nitai embraces both Jagai and Madai and sings a song to the two ruffians. Jagai Madai, oh, come and dance. Chanting Hari's name with fervor. What does it matter that you struck me? Dance, dear friends, in Hari's name. Sing the name of our beloved. He will embrace you in love's rapture. Let the heavens resound with his name. You have not tasted true emotion. Weep as you chant the name of Hari, and will see the moon of your soul. Hari's name would I lovingly give you. Nitai calls you to share his love. Nimai speaks to Sachi of his desire to enter the monastic life. Andarsina, his mother faints and falls to the ground. At this point, I'm continuing. Many in the audience burst into tears. Sri Ramakrishna remained still. Vairagya, leaving his mother. People wept. Sri Ramakrishna did not. How Sri Ramakrishna's moods have been beautifully depicted during the drama by Master Machai, and looked intently at the stage. A single tear appeared in the corner of each eye. The performance was over. Sri Ramakrishna was about to enter a carriage. A devotee asked him how he had enjoyed the play. The master said with a smile, I found the representation the same as the real. The carriage proceeded toward Mahendra's mill. Suddenly, Sri Ramakrishna went into an ecstatic mood and murmured to himself in loving tone. I think we can take up this tomorrow also. Tomorrow, Sunday, on Monday, we shall take up this last portion. Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kavivireeditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Shrimadasatam Bhui Grunanti Ye Bhurida Jana Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.